Hi, my name's Nick with Machine Gun Dad. Welcome back to the channel. We've got another episode in our field strip series on a auto ordnance model M1A1 Thompson submachine gun with an M1 bolt in it. So we're going to do things a little differently in this field strip video, and if it turns out well in all of our following field strip videos, we're going to be getting a zoom in on the internals of the gun itself, give you a bit more detail, make it a bit more clear what I'm doing and what I'm referring to whenever we're taking the gun apart. So we'll see how it goes. Now let's get into the first bit of dealing with any firearm before you fiddle with it in any way whatsoever. So you always got to show clear. As you can see, there is no magazine anywhere near the firearm. There is no bullet anywhere in the gun. Drop that bolt back down. And the first thing you're going to want to do on the Thompson is, if you have a sling on it, you have to remove at least the sling connection on the buttstock, because the buttstock comes off during field strip. Alright, we've moved in close, and as I mentioned, if you have a sling on the Thompson, the first thing you're going to want to do is take at the very least the back end of the sling off, because the entire lower of this gun comes off the back end, and your sling is going to prevent you from doing that. Now this thing is really simple. All it is this flat piece of metal that you're going to push in and pull off of the sling swivel, and that is all you're going to do to disconnect the sling from this. Alright, we've repositioned the gun to show you guys the additional things you need to make sure of while taking the lower part of this gun off. To do that, you have to make sure that both of your fire controls are set to the forward position, so the safety is off and it is in full auto or your equivalent, and the bolt has to be forward in order to do anything about taking the lower off of this gun. And on the back end, there is a retaining pin right underneath the buttstock that you are going to push in. Now, I have a Allen key to do that because I have big thumbs and it does not want to go all the way down by just me pushing on it. So you're going to push that down while at the same time pulling the trigger and pulling backwards on the lower of the gun. And then you're going to slide the whole thing back while keeping that trigger pulled the whole way, while your whole lower will come off the gun. You will know if you are not pulling the trigger hard enough if it catches on the bolt and the bolt starts to follow you backwards. That's how you know you need to put more pressure on the trigger. Alright, we've repositioned the gun again. We have just gotten the lower off of this gun, and the next thing we are going to do is pull the recoil spring and buffer assembly out of this. So, on the back end, there is a button that you can push in, and you can see that the buffer and the recoil spring assembly are moving forward. What you're going to do is push that button in to push the recoil spring in, and at the same time, this buffer here, you are going to pull up on it while keeping pressure on the spring, because now that the buffer is out, it is going to want to come out of the back of the gun. So, reaching in, grabbing onto the buffer, pulling the thing out, keeping pressure on it, trying not to kink it, and the whole thing will come right out of the back of the gun. Now, we will get into taking the bolt itself out. Now, you have to take the charging handle off of it to pull the bolt out of the gun, because the charging handle is in the bolt. You will notice the charging handle has a slot right here that is cut out for that purpose. So you are going to pull your bolt back until you have it lined up with that slot, pushing it slightly up in this case, and there's a little tab right at the very front end of the bolt right there that you are going to push in and keep pushed in, and then just pull the whole charging handle out of it. So to show you that, I'm going to push in, keeping that up, and the whole thing will come off because there is interruptions on the charging handle. And from there, you could just pull the whole bolt mostly to the rear, pick up, and the entire bolt comes out. Alrighty, you've seen everything all come apart. Now that you are as fully field stripped as you're gonna get, you can get in here, you can see just how much oil is in here. You can clean it all out, run a brush through the barrel and everything. So, let's get into putting it back together. It is going to be the exact same thing, just in reverse, as usual. So we are going to take our bolt and drop it back in the same way we took it out, mostly to the rear, and then we are going to slide that until this hole in the side of the bolt is lined up with this cutout in the side of the receiver where our charging handle will go into. Now the same thing you're going to do is you're going to pull the hammer back to, I will try to get you to see it. There is a little piece of the hammer that sticks out right there that when you push that in, you can see it spring back. That is what locks into the charging handle. So we are going to push that in and slot this into the side of the gun, keeping it pulled up like we did when taking it out. Push in, drop the charging handle through, and now it's not going anywhere. Then push your bolt most of the way forward. Take your recoil spring assembly. Now, what I've found is the easiest way for me to get this back in without getting it to kink and bend and become horrible to try and put in or take out is I feed the recoil spring through the hole in the back that we pulled it out of into the bolt until it doesn't go any further, and then I pull the bolt back while also feeding the recoil spring into it until the guide rod takes up, and then slowly let the bolt forward until it gets mostly locked, and then keeping pressure on the recoil spring, you could slide the buffer back over it and lock that thing back in. So that's all of the bolt, recoil spring, and charging handle put back together. Now we're going to zoom out and get into putting the lower back on. Alrighty, now let's get back into sticking our lower on. It is going to be the same things that I mentioned while taking it off are going to apply while putting it back on. Just in case when you move this off to the side, anything moved, be sure to verify that both of your controls are in the forward position and that the bolt is forward. Got to make 100% certain of that or else it will not go back together. So we are going to take these lips on the bottom receiver and line it up with the lips on the top. Get it on, slide it just slightly forward so that it doesn't come off of the gun. Then, pulling the trigger again, you are going to slide it all the way forward until it locks in and you see that pin that I mentioned on the back popping up and retaining the entire lower of this gun. That has been our field strip of the Auto Ordnance Thompson M1A1. As you can see, it is now fully functional. Everything runs as intended. Thank you for coming to the channel, taking a look at this very neat piece of history. Joining me as I learn to take it apart, make sure she is well maintained because this is an old gun that really needs it. I'm glad to have these things around because a lot of people, unfortunately, namely Californians, will want to destroy them. So, thank you for coming to the channel. Like, comment, subscribe, follow us on Rumble. We have some cool stuff going on over there that we cannot show on YouTube, unfortunately. So, thank you.